Turn it up. You're listening to Live and Loud with the Lord, Nelson, that is.
Hang up on my hotline, yeah, and grab up on my waistline, yeah. If you follow with the baseline, yeah, and you know it's the right time, yeah. Let's go, baby, yeah, let's go. Been waiting, baby, take it slow. And I know when you make that call, na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know who it is. It's the big guy with the big show, the Lord. Nelson, that is, from the show Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS Network with 5 Royals Entertainment. And ladies and gentlemen, you see her over there, right? She's over there with the little, with Millie throwing up the piece. Look at it. She's ready. She's ready for this conversation. And we're going to have a great time. She's such a talented person. But before I get into all of that, I'd like to big her up a little bit if she doesn't mind and do what I do. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this young lady is a multi-talented artist and musician, a singer with an amazing voice with a tone that is soothing and sensual. Her style and delivery is cool and in the pocket as she rides the rhythm like a new age Jadeee. I like that, man. That's what I believe. Her trajectory is one beyond the stars and is soon to be on next level status for the masses to hear. So it would behoove you to catch and enjoy her musical journey and bear witness to this young superstar rising. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the Live and Loud with the Lord show brings to you the incredible artist, Jadeee. Clap for love, indeed. God, thank you for being here. So glad to have you. So we get into it like every other thing. The first question always is, where are you from, young lady?
So I'm in Atlanta now, but I moved from Toronto, where I spent near Toronto, GTA, all around the past 10 years. So I'm going to say Toronto.
Okay.
But then I was born in Milwaukee, but I lived in Michigan for 15 years. So a few places, but I'm definitely going to say I claim Toronto
Toronto. All right.
Yeah.
So what's the best thing about being from Toronto? What's the best thing about Toronto?
The best thing about even living there, I think, is the diversity.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely the diversity. You can find the best of any food place, in my opinion.
Right.
I may be subjective here because, obviously there's going to be some people that got something to say, but in my opinion, you can find the best diverse food. There's little areas of every single culture in Toronto, and it's amazing. And all the people, they come from all over the world to live there. It's easier to get status in Canada, so they choose Toronto to live. So it's just a very multicultural city, and I absolutely love that.
Well, you said it's easy to get status in Toronto. What do you mean by that?
Visa status,
visa status
compared to the States. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've seen vids and have heard how clean and beautiful Toronto is. So would you agree?
Yeah.
It's a really clean and pristine. Not a lot of crime and things like that. I'm just from what I've seen.
Compared to Atlanta, oh yeah. But when it comes down to it, maybe it's just not spoken about, but there's crime every day there.
Of course. I understand that, but they were just, I don't know. It's I remember Raekwon from Wu-Tang talking about, they don't put up with a lot of things up there. It's just different, and he's from New York. So his perspective of it was different. So he was just it's just so clean.
When did he speak on it?
It was a few years ago, but I definitely watched him say it because I don't know if he lives in Toronto, but I know he's been up there. So I just heard him talk about it. So, now I'm asking you, because you're actually from there, but your reaction is yo, I don't know. Is it Toronto might be?
It's definitely more chill on the crime.
Okay.
But I know I don't know. People from Toronto really want to act like they're from the States. So I swear they I swear they try to be more hood than they are. Like, I mean, I'm not going to speak on it too much, but
no, that's a lot of places.
That's how it feels, especially living in so many different cities, you know, and like I lived in Flint, Michigan for 15 years, like right outside Flint, but like Flint, Michigan for 15 years. And I'm like, bro, do you understand crime? Like, yo, this is not a joke.
Indeed. So why do they call Toronto the sixth? And is Drake truly the sixth God? I always hear it. I'm asking, you know.
He is. This is Millie's pickle. He is pickle, has a face and everything. He is I think, okay, correct me, Google, if I'm wrong, but I think it's because there's a 6 in every area code, almost every area code in Toronto. I think that's why it is. But he's definitely considered the sixth God. He's considered the God of, it feels like Canada, not even just Toronto. Like, I mean, he's done like so much for Canada. So Canada, like not even Toronto. Like it just, at this point, people are just like, he's Canadian. He's not Torontonian. He's Canadian.
He's Canadian.
I mean, I think he's one of the reasons we have so much more tourism too. Like,
so it's all about the Drake effect? Is it like Oprah Winfrey? What are we talking about? The Drake
That's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. I swear. Like when I was living there, I was just there like a year and a half ago. Like I'm there and there's like tourists, you know, like, where's this? Oh, like, is Drake in the city right now? Guys, really? Like, did you come here to meet him or see a statue? Like, I don't know, but it's always in the conversation when they want to talk about how they're tourists in the city.
Right. Well,
he's always in the conversation. So he's definitely put Toronto on the map, Canada on the map, whatever.
Well, prayerfully, you're going to be there too. It won't just be Drake. You know, you might be the queen of Toronto, or something like that. Oh, Canada. We gonna work that out. I think it's a possibility.
That's wild.
So how early did the sound of music capture your attention?
I love that. I love that movie so much. The Sound of Music. It's such a good movie. But I mean, I feel like I'm supposed to be like, when I was 5, I joined the church and I started. No, it's not what happened.
Just speak it. Yeah.
Right. When I was probably 12-ish, more so, a year before my sister got married, I was putting my family's Baha'i, which is a religion. I was putting Baha'i quotes to music. Okay. And that was the first time I was like, oh, I can do this. This is easy. And then when I was showing them to people, they were like, this is beautiful. And then there was actually a large amount of the Baha'i community that started asking me to record the songs I was making at such a young age, like 12, 13, record the songs I was making and the quotes I was putting to music, I should say, and asking if I can share them with the community. So a lot of people actually in the Baha'i community started singing these melodies I was making to these quotes in different parts of the world. They were taking them, like they would meet at a conference. Yeah. And then they would ask me to record it. And then I would see a video in like Germany or in Australia of these little kids, like singing a melody that I put together from a quote from one of the prophets in the Baha'i religion. And I was just like, that's crazy. So when that happened, I was like, maybe people really like what I'm doing.
Indeed. Well, now I want to go off a little bit. Tell me a little bit, the Baha'i religion, how does that differ from other religions? Tell me a little bit more about it. You don't have to go too deep, but tell me about it, because I'm not familiar with it. So educate me, please.
So the Baha'i faith, it's called, is a religion from the Prophet Baha'u'llah. And Baha'u'llah is just a manifestation of God, just like Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha. And I think the biggest thing you should take from Baha'i religion is it believes in the oneness of humanity and that science and religion go hand in hand. But it also believes in something called progressive revelation. And that states that every religion is put in that time in society. Wait, how do you say this? Every religion was put at the right time in society for that time. Does that make sense?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Okay,
It's the time for it. It's there. Like, boom.
Yes, and off of every holy scripture, it also speaks on how they actually do interpret as, I don't know if I should be speaking on this. I feel like I'm doing this bad, but I think it's every scripture, every holy book is interpreted as basically kind of the same thing, but for that time in society that needed to hear that message.
Okay.
If that makes
No, I just had never heard of it. Maybe I've heard of the word behind it. Listen, I'm interested. I mean, I'm really interested. I mean, I've just never heard of it. So but you speaking on it like you know what you're talking about. So
okay. I just feel like I had to react.
You think you're stumbling through it, but if it's somebody who doesn't know, you're speaking eloquently about it. So it's all
okay,
it's all So what music did your parents play in the household? And has your singing been influenced by it in any way?
What music did they play in the household? My dad loves Jill Scott.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
My mom and dad both love Aretha Franklin. Come on.
Okay.
Don't know who doesn't.
That's what's up.
I was obsessed. I don't know where this came from, but I became obsessed at probably around the same age, 12, 13, with Michael Jackson. Don't know where that came. Like when I say obsessed, I mean obsessed. Like I bought every fedora I could find from every bookstore. I bought every sparkly glove I could find. Really? I learned to dance. Oh my gosh. My family could tell you it was obsessive. I would come home from school and lock myself in the room and play Invincible over and over and over again. I know so many lyrics to that song, now, to that album. Sorry.
You're saying Michael Jackson now. Come on now. You're up there with, Michael Jackson, Indiana. But what about Prince, though? What about
You know what? We never got into understand and respect his art a lot, but I never got into him. It was just not something my family played around the house. Michael Jackson wasn't really something they played around the house either.
Right.
My family really, most of my mom would play music, and it was my music. It was like songs for Sunday classes, religious songs, prayers put to music type thing. A lot of instrumentals that my mom would play just in the morning and then usually at night. But it's so crazy because we're such a musical family, but I feel like there wasn't a lot of music that was played throughout the house. Really? It was more like independently investigate what music you want to listen to and then get into that because you have that in your blood.
I got you.
That's what it felt like.
Okay. So as a younger lady, did you sing in the church choir or did you guys have a church choir? And you were kind of telling about the quotes or a school choir or any, equivalent or you just self-taught as you were just speaking? Did you just go out there and just do it yourself?
So in the Bible, we actually don't really have churches, but we have, Lord, I should have re-upped on this. Lord, have mercy. We don't have churches, but we have a lot of Baha'i conferences. And at those Baha'i conferences, there are sometimes, not always, there's choirs. And the choirs will put melodies to prayers, or there will already be them. And then the choir director will teach those people. But I actually was never in a choir,
really?
in any of the choirs. I loved them, but I never really, because I was so not secret of the right word, so private about singing because I was so embarrassed. I was like, well, people like this? I don't know. Yeah. I was very embarrassed. Even when I had to record things for people, sometimes I would record it for someone else so that they could record it for someone. And I'd be like, can you send it to them with your voice? Because I'm embarrassed. I was very embarrassed in my singing. And I wasn't bad. I could sing a lot of, I could sing on, on beat, and I could sing the notes and everything. I just was very embarrassed. But yeah, I never actually joined a choir, whether it was at my school or at a church or at a Baha'i conference. Never did.
So you just been singing Michael Jackson songs and secretive. It's
literally Michael Jackson. And then when Drake came out with Take Care, I don't know what happened, but my entire, It's so crazy because he is such an influence on my style of music.
Really?
But not the Drake now. The Drake now, he doesn't have much of an influence on me, but like, respect his art. But yeah, his first few albums that made him really big, like those were on repeat for me, but more so not on repeat because they were great albums, but like not even because they were great, but because I was like, I love his style. I want to know how to sing rap or whatever he's doing. And that's kind of how I created my own style, is off of him. And then I incorporated the soul. I knew Jadeee was someone we did listen to, though, now that I think about it.
We all did.
Jadeee was, but only her hits. Only her hits. Because my brother would play her, not my parent, my brother.
Right. Okay.
So, and he only knew her hits. So I would only know of her hits. So she was incorporated. Adele was a big influence for me as well. When 19 came out, her first album, not when she got big, but her first album called 19.
What do you mean not when she got big?
When she got big, that was her album 21.
Oh, you're not talking about size. You're talking about music. Yeah. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
Not me commenting on her weight.
No. Listen, I'm a big guy. Adele is amazing. I love Adele. Adele is amazing.
Adele, Drake, and Jadeee were huge influences. The sing rap that Drake provided, the soul that Jadeee provided.
Right.
Yeah. Big influences.
Nah, listen, you got a wonderful tone. So really, I'm digging on that. And ever since Jay let me hear your music and stuff, I've just been like, yo, this young lady. Anyway, we're going to get into more of that, no doubt. But who else in your family has been blessed with a musical talent like yours? I know you said your brother listened, but who else has that voice? And it might not be
amazing.
Really?
My sister's amazing. She's phenomenal. She does wedding singing a lot. She lives in Germany, so I'm not that integrated in her life. She tells me a little about it, but like she does wedding singing a lot. And she did have an album that came out quite a while ago.
Really?
Yeah, but it was just beautiful. It was her accompanying herself. She knows guitar. No, she does not. She knows piano. And then I think she has a band, so I think she had them on it as well. But it's a beautiful album. And her band name is Daisy Grows Yellow, which is so cute. And that's my grandma. That was my grandma's name, Daisy. So
you've been around it then. So music is there. So how many siblings are there?
There's 4 of us.
Okay. And you the baby.
I'm the baby.
She's the little bambino. Yes, she is. Okay. All right. Cool. So you have a musical family, and that's love, though. I'm gonna have to. So is your sister's album out there somewhere I can check it out?
It's on Bandcamp.
It's on Bandcamp. Right? All right. So after this, I'm going out there to listen to it because I love.
Please do.
I'm definitely going. And you said it's Daisy
Grows Yellow.
Daisy Grows Yellow. Isn't that so sweet? Isn't
right? Wholesome.
Indeed.
3 steps at a time. Maps account for this. 3 steps at a time. Calculated bliss. 3 steps at a time. That's how you'll sink this ship. 1 step at a time. That's how you'll get over it. Any day is a day in the life of a true soldier. We will soldier on. Anytime I feel like a light tickles real, let it stay louder. We will stay.
How many different instruments do you play?
I dabble.
You dabble.
I dabble. I don't know how to play notes very well. I taught when you just hear things and you're like, oh, that sounds pretty.
Right.
That's how I made like my first few songs was piano. That sounds really pretty. But then I got like good with two hands. Still don't know notes, but that sounded pretty. So when people are like, I want to play your song, what notes are they? I'm like, what does this do? What does this mean or do?
Right.
Guitar, I learned I think I learned 7 notes. And then I just was like, let me just play pretty stuff now. So I really don't know guitar. So I guess I just play them to know it sounds good, but I guess I play them then. If that makes sense.
So you can get the rough drafts out if you need to, the melodies and things.
That's like all that matters. I know how to. Which is crazy. The only instrument I can play with notes and the sheet music is a flute.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you and Andre 3000 on the flute thing right now.
Not him, but we level 1, but that's okay. That's okay.
Indeed. So listen, going back to Toronto, what do you think Toronto has given you that set you apart from other artists?
What has Toronto given me?
That sets you apart from other artists. So now you're down here in the States. So when you look at these other artists and you hear these other artists, and Toronto definitely has a music scene, which I'm going to ask you about also. So what did you grab from there that really sets you apart from these other singers? Or was there anything? Maybe you're like, nah, never. You speak about Toronto like it's all love, so you had to grab something from there.
I don't know if I grabbed anything from Toronto. I think, yeah, they didn't have a big influence on my music. There was 2 people specifically that I met who had I feel like had specifically a really big influence on the music I was making. But other than that, I don't think the city did much for me. I think in Toronto, I don't know if I should speak on this. I didn't care for a lot of artists in Toronto.
Wow.
But I understood that, how do you say this? I didn't care for a lot of artists. I did think there was a good amount of people that were talented, but their music, I didn't care for. Like, it was like, you're trying to be somebody else in my head.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be nobody else. And maybe everybody can say that, like, oh, I'm my own person, but compare me. Try.
Right.
I don't think you can compare me with an artist out right now. And I mean that I don't mean that humbly. I mean that nicely though.
I love it. You gotta talk that talk. I love that. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
If there's one thing I have confidence in, like, even my singing isn't the best. I actually don't think I'm the best singer, but I think that I'm so different. You can surpass all of that.
That's real.
That's how I feel about my music. So I don't know if Toronto gave me anything. It did. I felt like a lot of the girls who did R&B sounded alike. I feel like a lot of the guys either tried to sound like Party Next Door, The Weeknd, or Drake. I mean, I met some talented people, but I was like, you're so good at singing. You're so good at this. But your songs aren't good. When I came to Atlanta, I realized that a lot of, in fact, 95, let's say, % of the people here only understand trap music and rap. And it's all they grew up with, maybe. I don't know. But maybe your songs are good, but you really be sounding like the next person. But it's just funny because Atlanta, they really do try to be like, I'm number one. Nobody's like me. Nobody can be like me. And I'm like, but you really be sounding like the last guy that just performed.
Right.
And like, it's not even a disrespecting. It's just like, what sets you apart? For real.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's me being too boastful, but I have never had someone after I perform be like, oh, you sound like this person. Maybe they'll be like, oh, you remind me of, usually it's Jadeee. Or someone said Rihanna, which is so not true, but you can judge something else on that, but I don't believe that one. That was the last performance I had, but they will like say that, but they'll never be like, oh, you sound just like this person. No. That's not me. I also have I feel like I'm doing pop, R&B, and acoustic all very differently. So, and I'm incorporating soul in all of them. So I think that's pretty cool too. But yeah, did that answer your question? What was your question?
No, listen, as I always say, I say it like every show, that just lets me know that things are flowing well and the guest is a great guest when you just speak and just answer so many questions I was going to, ask you, but that's beautiful. No, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just like, keep talking, talk your talk. And I love your confidence, and you should be like that. I think that's something that's lacking so much in the music. And when you say that so many people sound alike, that is a very true statement. But they think that's what's going to get them to that next level, because the more that they say they want you to be outside the box, they want you to be inside that box, and it's just.
And you know what? Yeah. Sorry to interrupt,
no,
but
you good.
Atlanta has allowed me to have, I had confidence coming here, but Atlanta has allowed me to be like, oh no, you are very different.
Right.
It really allowed me to open my eyes and be like, you are very different. These people see you as very different.
Right.
It's really, really eye-opening and really important that I moved here, because I have a different level of confidence for myself.
Oh, that's great.
And I love that.
Yeah.
I do.
Well, we're talking about it. So you presently live in Atlanta. What prompted you to leave Toronto and plant your flag in the ATL?
Music. I was told by 3 people that I should not stay in Toronto.
Wow.
Because nobody right now with Toronto, the way it's going, with the fans it has, will make it in Toronto. They talked about how every big artist that has made it in Toronto has left Toronto and then come back to Toronto.
Really? Right. Yeah. I got you.
They were talking about that, and I was just like, to be honest, you're so right. Every performance I had in Toronto, people were coming up to me afterwards, excited, this is that. They followed my Instagram and they were like, oh, did you just start music? And they saw that I had only 2,000 something, 500 something, some number that was low followers. Immediately they either unfollowed or they didn't want to follow me, or it was okay, we'll keep in touch until you get recognized. And I'm just like, that's wild. I've never done that. I've never liked an artist and then been uninterested because of the numbers. And I'm not going to lie to you, I've been uninterested because of the numbers and not checked out an artist. But I've never liked an artist and then unfollowed them because the numbers are too low.
That's the world we live in now.
Oh,
it really has, and that's how they look at things. It's not about your talent, and and you've already spoken about it, and we know also how talented you are. And ladies and gentlemen, she is that talented. I'm going to look straight into the camera. I'm having a conversation, but she really is that talented, and you're going to enjoy her music 100%. I don't care what genre you listen to. This young lady is really one of those.
Trying to look through the camera with you.
No, I'm that's right. I just want I'm giving you boom, but I just want to make sure that they really know, and I really feel that way. And I love all kinds of music. But, when I first heard your music, I really did get those goosebumps. I was just like, wow, okay, this is really good. This is really good. And we'll talk about the songs that you have out here in a little bit. But yes, indeed. So has it been in Atlanta what you thought it would be in terms of the music scene and opportunities?
Not what I thought it would be. Nothing's ever what I thought it would be ever in my life.
Sometimes it's more. My first time to New York was way beyond my expectations, Right. So those kind of things. So, And
I can't say you're wrong at all. Definitely. I could say I stopped having expectations, but who really stops having expectations? Right. I'll be more detached, but I will always have expectations. Right. But detachment is coming much easier to me for sure. But I definitely think that moving here, I thought that there wouldn't be as many performance opportunities as there is / was.
Right.
I was performing 1/2 a week for the first 4 months I was here.
Right.
Which was awesome.
Yes, indeed.
It got me connected with so many cool people. It got me connected with people that I still keep in touch with now.
Of course.
And it was also a great learning curve because you come here and you get all these opportunities, you meet these people, and then you realize, oh, that person's not in it for the right reasons. You know, like you definitely learn people. But the one thing I will say is that even going off what you just said before, unlike Toronto, when people go to my performances here, they'll just follow me because they like my music.
Right.
My followers have gone up a substantial amount since I've substantial as in like because they're so organic and they're off performances. Like if you can get a minimum of 10 people every performance, you know how good that is?
That is really great. It really is.
And like you have 50 people at the performance, like that's so good. So when I realized, like, because first it was like, oh man, only like 6 people followed me. And then when I realized how much I was performing and how I was actually putting myself out there and how the numbers were adding, I was like, okay, Jade, you should be proud of yourself. You're doing really good.
Right, indeed. You got to be thankful and grateful, especially with the way that the algorithms and all that stuff is on social media, which is such a big part of what we're doing now. You know, the social media, we don't want it to be as important as it is, but it really is important because even though it's not the realest thing in the world, you know, it's like, come on, man. But yet still, it's what's out there. That's what's going on right now. So what has been the most surprising thing you've learned about Atlanta?
The crime was crazy.
I told you Toronto didn't have any crime. I told you.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like when you compare it, it's like Toronto looks like a peace country, like country, peace city. But it's like I'm shook. Like I've literally seen my first. Oh man, I have so many stories. Someone I can't even speak. I just got here 1 year and 3 months ago, man.
Right.
I've already had 6 incidents. Like
really.
Someone stole my catalytic converter out of my car. Someone broke into my car. I found my car keyed. Like, what did I do to you?
Right.
What?
Right.
Like, not to mention, at the place I work, which is in Midtown, worked at the time, there was a time for 2 whole months where every single person but 3 people we worked with got their car broken into.
Really?
What?
Big cities.
And if not broken into, something stolen.
Right.
But it was like, whoa, like reality check. Where do I live? Like, whoa. So that was the most surprising thing. Yeah. The fraud. Oh my gosh. My bank has to call me every like 3 months to be like, this is fraud protection, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why? Who's trying to get into my account? Like, I mean, it's wild. It's really, really wild. It's wild how many people have asked me to do criminal activity. And I'm like, do I even look? And like, not even look because nobody look. But it's like, oh my God, I'm done. This conversation's over.
Everybody's scamming, right? What did the designer say? There's a lot of scammers in Atlanta.
And it's normal. It's normal to meet a guy and him be like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm a scammer. It's like, okay. What? Why are you so confident about it? Because they make so much money. It's almost like, oh, you should be with me. I'm a scammer. It's like, what? Anyways, so the crime. I'm going to answer that and be done. The crime. I've already had people trying to break into my, like, this is wild. Like, I've had death threats sent to my phone. Yo. Anyways.
That's bananas. No doubt. Hey, big city life, man.
Toronto's a bigger city.
I got you.
Never had any of these things happen. Crazy.
It's crazy. So how would you describe your sound? And can your talent complement any producer?
What? Of course.
Look at you, man. I love it.
What? Of course.
I love it.
I think that when you there was one producer, his name's Adam. Oh, I love Adam. Shout out to Adam. Adam was my favorite producer to work with. Adam was somebody who understood me and my sound and wanted to work with that. Right. You don't meet a lot of producers that actually do that. They always say they will. They always say they can work with anyone, anything, meet this. Adam cared. Adam got to know me. Me and Adam got lunch. He got to know who I was as a person before he even started making beats, you know? And then he would cater beats to me. And if I didn't like him, it was never an issue. It was, okay, so what do you like? You know, it was just, and honestly, every song you love were me and Adam.
Really?
Yeah. Awesome. So it's like, there was even Loving You in Style, the one that I get actually the most attention for. That was a loop that he had open on his computer when I came into the studio one day. And he I don't know if it's an accident, but he just played it. It wasn't anything serious to him. And I heard the first 5 seconds and I was like, oh, this is it. You know. And he goes, huh? Yeah. And I was like, this is it. This is the one. And he's like, of course. He's like, this is a loop. Like, you want to use this loop? And I said, no, this is the song.
Right.
And he said, he's like, I just found this song. You want to use it? He's like, you want to use the song? Okay, let's use the song. He's so confused. He puts the song on the loop, or he puts the loop on the song. My bad. I go in the studio. This song is done within an hour. Like, the entire song is done within an hour.
Right.
And then he just has to mix it. And I'm just like, and he's like, bro, this song is hit. And I'm like, yo, it's the simple stuff.
Yeah. 100%.
And it's the fact that you were willing to work with how weird my mind was functioning at that time and how crazy you might have thought the thought was.
Right.
You were able to work with me. And I'm definitely able to be like, if you want me to hop on this right now, and even if I don't think I can, I'm going to trust you enough to do it. And that's even how LMAA started.
Yeah.
So we have that. I don't know if it's a chemistry, but it's that work ethic together. It's really, really, it's positive, and it's just all love. Like you say, it's all love. Yes, it's all genuine. And yeah, I really, really do miss working with him.
Well, you're a creative, and he obviously is also. And when you give each other that space to operate, beautiful things come from it. So yes, indeed. So shout out to Adam. Adam, good job. Good job. Now, and I've been able to, once again, I have certain people, the guy that I work with now, Matt Acevedo, I call him the magnificent Matt Acevedo, MMA. Same thing. He's just so talented and he gets me. And so with us working for the last couple of years, it's just even easier than it was at the beginning. And it was easy. So I understand that it's good when you can find that kinship with somebody that you can move forward. And you should always reach back to him if you need to. And I'm sure you're still cool with him, but you should always reach back to him. So the songs and videos you have out right now showcases your lyrical prowess. So do you write from a personal viewpoint of self, or do you grab from your surroundings as well?
Both. Yeah, both. Both. I had this really close friend who he would always tell me these stories about his past girlfriend, or, like his past relationships, whether they were friendships or romantic.
Yeah.
And because we were so close, I gained such a surreal understanding of like where he was coming from. And that was actually a big inspiration for me and my personal relationship with him. So like I was able to gauge so much from having such a close, friendship with someone. So that was a big one. But also like a lot of songs that aren't out, of course, but my personal experience with my parents, with my love life, with my friendships, like it's definitely my environment and myself, not just myself.
Yeah, it comes off in the music, because see, me being a writer, I'm listening to lyrics, I'm just like, okay. All right. And once again, I always say it every show, I'm so visual, so I visualize everything you're saying, and I'm just like, okay, where's it? And we're going to dive into it in a second, because I'm going to ask you about these songs also. So, in fact, let's get into it right now.
Now.
So that's right. Yeah, it's fresh with you now. So Rise Up. No. Rise Up speaks on a topic that grabbed the entire world's attention. So
you went there.
Yeah. So silence is the word that keeps us on the fence. That's a strong bar right there. And so, you said it multiple times in there, and it was just like, I'm like, no, that's real, because all of us don't have that strength or that confidence to speak these things. We really don't. We do play, the middle. We do ride that fence, and it's like, so where are you on this subject or whatever like that? But you kind of like went into it. So what made you want to do that? And what made you not want to be on the fence?
That is so interesting. I'm because I've never been questioned on that song, but it's that song. So when the BLM protests were going on and they were really big, what was it, 2019? Was that it? 2020? 2020? I think it was. Was it 2020?
I can't remember exactly, because I'm on the fence. You was getting at me, so go ahead.
20 or 21. Whenever the protests were really big, I know COVID had just started. Obviously there was so much hatred going on. There was so much negativity. There was so much, there was so much room for discourse as well. And I was very, my family's very mixed. Like, I couldn't even tell you everything I am, but my dad is Black. My dad's Black and other things, but my dad's a Black man. And man, the stories this man has, from I know he was one of the first African Americans playing football in his, college. So that gave room to so many stories.
Really?
I don't even want to get into those, but that was the first thing that came to my mind when everything was going on with the protests and everything. And Rise Up was one of the fastest songs I've ever written in my life. I think I made it in 15 minutes. I think I made it in 15 minutes.
Right.
It was after a phone call. I was just off with my dad. And then that gave room to me randomly just being like, I need to make a song. Looked up this beat. First beat, I think I looked in Little Baby emotional type beat. Was what I looked up on YouTube. First thing that popped up was this beat. I was like, this is it. This is the one. And then just started writing. And I was like, you've named me victim. It's in the skin. Like the whole, every lyric to that song is so beautiful. That was one of my favorite songs. So I'm just glad you brought that up because a lot of people don't bring that up. But that was when you talk about what was repeated, silence is the word that keeps you on the fence. I was actually in a fight, I don't know, with one of my friends. She's white and she wasn't speaking on the matter at all.
Right.
And at all, not even to me. And I was like, what are you doing? In my head, I'm like, are you dumb? Was as harsh as that sounds, I was like, well, how are you not, you're not going to any protests. You're not speaking on the matter. You don't even want to talk about the matter. You're staying in your house. This is very uncomfortable for me as well. I feel like I can't call you and you don't want to even talk about this because you're just going to sit there and say nothing. And that really bothered me. So I felt like that had to be a line in the song that was really repeated. I didn't want to sound like I was bashing white people at all. But I was just like, if you want to know how I feel, that's how I feel.
Right.
So
you put it in words.
Ain't a game.
Yeah, you put it in the song.
I say that in the song. Yeah.
No, love. I mean, it really, spoke to me a lot also. And I know a lot of people like that. And I consider myself, of course, I've spoken about it. But, to go out there and make a song about it and be passionate about it and really speak your mind is everybody's not built for that. And so, I really applaud you on doing that and speaking your mind and having the I don't know, just the strength mentally to speak on that and write a song about it and sing it and mean every word that you're saying, because I believe what you're saying. And so
I really appreciate that. It was actually very, now that I think about it, it was, I didn't want to put it out at all. I didn't want to put it out at all. One of my old friends was like, I sent it to him and he was like, you need to put this out. And I was like, nah. He's like, no. If you don't put this out, I'm going to put this out. I was like, huh? And then an hour later, I get an Instagram message from a producer in Toronto. I was not in the city at the time. I was in Guelph, a city nearby Toronto. I get a message from a producer in Toronto. He's like, if you come to the studio right now, I'll record the song for you for free because this is
Right.
such a powerful song.
Right.
And it was the guy, my friend had actually messaged him and told him, was like, she needs to record this right now. She's mad. She needs to get this out, that. In that hour, I drove down, got a friend to drive me down to Toronto, went to the studio, recorded the song. Nothing was on the song. There was no effects on the song whatsoever. It was crazy. Like we wanted it raw as hell.
Yes.
So all we put was the one-dimensional layer and then a few backings. And then that was just the raw version of the song. Because it wasn't about, it wasn't about the music. It was about the lyrics.
Right. It's the
So
message of it. Yes, indeed. And you didn't need all other stuff because the message was the effect. The message was all those other things that you could put in there. So you didn't need all of that. Yeah. It
was a big deal. And then in the city I was living at the time called Guelph, when that song, what was it? When I showed someone that song, when I just recorded, I got it back from the engineer. And I showed it to someone and they were like, let's promote this in the city. So then it became a big thing in the city. Right. And it was going around Guelph and becoming like viral. Like people were coming up to me and being like, oh, you're that girl, the Rise Up girl. And I was like, this is crazy. So I got known in Guelph as being the Rise Up girl. People were like coming to the restaurant I worked at and being like, bro, that video you made is hard. And I'm like, what? And that's actually my best friend in the video. Shout out to Avery. But yeah.
Yes. So once again, great song. I love it. Great job. So now let's get into Na 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 Na. It's such a great song to me, and you ride that rhythm and beat so well. Who produced it, and where did you shoot the video? And of course, you got the Dairy Queen Blizzard, going on. What's up with that? Come on now, we all know about it.
That's the only thing I eat at Dairy Queen is the strawberry shortcake blizzard. Only thing. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. Disgusting place. I love their strawberry shortcake blizzard though. Na 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 was a song I made. I'm trying to think. Not Millie. Na 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 was a song I made in my room. My friend was there. And he was the reason the song was made. For sure, because I was singing na 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 na, and he heard me. I was like, I don't know what you're singing, but that's fire.
Right.
And he's like, put that into something, and I was like, nah. And he's like, nope, put that into something. So I did, and then the song became like it was a reference track at first, but it was just the na 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 was in there, and then when he left, I finished the song and sent it to him. I was like this, and he's like, all right, well, now you got to record this because this is a hit.
Right.
And I was like, okay. And I'm still in my head, I'm like, this is not a hit. Like, this is lame. Like, I literally thought it was lame.
It's definitely not lame. It's definitely not lame.
And then I took it to the producer I was working with, in Guelph at the time. And he recorded it. He loved it. Right. He remade the beat, put his own twist on it. And then he was like, this is a hit. You need a video. And then my friend was there also, and he was like, yep, you need a video. We're making a video.
Right.
So I was like, I guess we're making a video. And I got my friends together for a barbecue.
Gotcha.
And so everyone in that video I do know personally. I actually have a relationship with every single person in the video. People were like,
you can tell.
People were like, you don't know these people. And I was like, why? Because they freaking black? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I had so much hate for that. I was like, y'all are going to hate me because these are my friends. But yeah, the video ended up being sick, like way better than I thought it would be. A lot of people turned out for a last minute barbecue.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys were having fun. It was just real. No, it fits well. That's love. It was it's a really good song, really great song. I really enjoyed it, no doubt. So Loving You in Style seems to be a longing for someone who is special to you. Tell us about this awesome song.
Love it. This guy. Loving You in Style was not even about a guy in particular, which is crazy.
Okay.
Which is wild because a lot of them were. But Loving You in Style was, I was talking in the studio. We were talking before a session. Eating Chinese food. I remember this day. And that was like, you know, where I saw the beat with Adam, whatever, heard the beat with Adam.
Right.
And I think it was a few hours before, because I remember going into the studio and him playing the beat and us starting right away. So it must have been earlier in that day that we had been talking about trends, and we were just talking about clothing trends, and we were talking about how trends always stay and then they go.
Right.
But then I was like, but it's just so crazy because like love is forever, you know, like you can't trend love, but at the same time, yeah. So there was, I don't remember exactly what we spoke on, but it was just kind of about like, there's style and then there's trending, and it's like, you can have a style, but like, you can't always have the same thing trending. So that's why I wanted to call it Loving You in Style. And it's like, you'll never, ever lose your style. But it was just like a cute message, you know?
Okay.
But then it's like, I think in one of the lyrics, I was like, loving you like we be trending.
Right,
but boy, you know, this shit ain't ending. Because I was like,
so that's how, okay. Once again, you're creative. I get it. Because I know how my mind thinks. Yeah.
Just a very cute song where it was like, you're never going to go out of style. Like, I'm always going to have the same love I have for you, because my style might improve. My style might, you know, not be as swaggy as it once was, but I'm always going to have that same style. And that's how much that's the way I'm going to love you.
Oh, look at that, man. See, it's good when you can explain it and get it, because we as the listeners, we're going to take and make it what we want it to be. You know,
as you should, yeah.
Even though you're saying what it is, you know, but it means something to us. So it's like, hey, this is what I took from it. This is what I saw when I listened to it. And so it'll make people feel a certain way. And they might just drive and it's like, yo, you know, love it. Anyway, you get it. It's a beautiful song. Once again, I love that. All right. LMAA. Another awesome song. Love your flow and the dance vibe to it. So talk about this song here. And what does LMAA stand for?
Leave my ass alone. I was annoyed this day. I remember that. I was very annoyed. I was very annoyed with a guy.
Okay.
And
she on some Taylor Swift type stuff, ladies and gentlemen. She got that.
Yo. I mean, it was a little, you know, what is it? It was lighthearted, but it was like, I was annoyed. I was like, leave me alone.
Right.
All right. But yeah, that song was personal. You want to know the truth? I made that with my producer.
Uh-huh.
He was totally getting it out of me too. He was totally prying at it.
Right.
You know, like
what's
going on? And I was just like, I just feel like, you know, sometimes you just want someone to leave you alone so you can just have a minute to yourself. And I don't know if you really mean it, because if it happened, you want that. But at that time,
you want to be bothered.
At that time, I was like, leave my ass alone. You can listen to the song and be like, oh, she was going through it. But
of course. That's why I asked. That's how I always see things. That's how I'm telling you, once again, I'm seeing this happening as you're
right.
Wow. Okay.
It was let's put it this way. It was a whole song where I felt unappreciated in a relationship.
Okay.
Very unappreciated. And I told that person I felt unappreciated, and they made it into how they felt unappreciated. And I was like, oh, okay. So this isn't going anywhere, because I'm trying to bring up an issue, and and then I, you know, it spoke about how I felt like I wasn't understood properly. And then they said, well, they felt they weren't. And I was like, if you can't hear me, if you can't try to, you know, I'm going to get to you, but if you can't try to see where I'm coming from, you need to leave me alone. And that's kind of where it came. That's completely where it came from. I just felt like I wasn't being heard. So I made that song, and then people, all the girls, when I perform, are like, yeah,
of course.
There's always one girl that's like,
women, man, women. What we gonna, my dudes? What we gonna do with these women, man?
I don't know. They're crazy.
We're always, we always give them the best, man. They act like we're the bad ones, but we're never bad.
But it's vice versa. But yeah. In that case,
I'm clouded. No, I
case.
get you. That's a great song. Another great one. So, Another Face. Amazing. Those lyrics, young lady. Who is this dude? Now, don't front. Now, you might have came up with that. Who is this dude? Who is this dude we're talking about? I know it's personal. I do. There's no way you can tell me this one wasn't personal.
Oh, Lord. That is personal. Yeah. That one was easy to make. Miranda, every girl's felt like that. Every girl's felt like they're just another face to you. Like, I think the ending lyric that I wasn't even going to include, but the producer was like, this is so beautiful. You have to include it. It's so relatable. It was, I'm just another face to you, a name to you, put a number on me, and you wouldn't even know who.
That's crazy.
And I remember when there's always someone that's like, I've had someone come up to me crying, like, I really felt that. I was like, damn, I'm sorry, man. Maybe you mess with a guy and you just feel like, you want to give him all your time of day, but like, to him, does he even know your name? Now in this case, it was a little less extreme. It was like, I did like someone, but I just felt like it was a situation where they just didn't care for me the same way I cared for them.
Gotcha.
So this song was kind of like, dang, like, is that true? Like, am I driving myself crazy thinking about this?
Right.
So yeah.
No, I feel I knew it. Listen, I knew it. As I'm telling you, as I'm listening to those songs, I'm just like, wow, because I love music like that. And once again, I'm a writer, so I'm listening to your lyrics, and I was just like, oh, okay.
Can't hide that one.
Who is this dude? Yo, dude, my guy, man. What you doing, man? What's wrong with you, man? Anyway. So,
oh, Lord.
No, great music. I love your music. I really think that you have something special, young lady. You really do. I think that you have not only the talent, you have a look, you have the personality, and even your personality. I've talked to you before, but now it's even more. Now that I really have gotten to talk to you, it's like I have even a different perspective. So it's really, really good, and I love what you're doing. So beyond the music, who are you?
Beyond the music, who am I?
Yes. She did that like Miss Black America pageant. Beyond the music, who am I?
Lord.
I am.
I don't even know how to respond to that. People don't ask that. I am, all right, well, I work with kids. Work with autistic kids as a RBT, registered behavioral therapist. So that's a really important thing, and that's a really rewarding job, but it's not, I don't know if I would actually say that's who I am. It's something I love, though. It is. I really love working with kids. I've worked with kids my whole life, but because I love music so much, it's not a career path for me. Who am I? What kind of question is this? What kind of question is this?
Yo, I'm just doing what I do. Come on now.
I am a woman who moved out of her house at 15.
Wow.
To Canada from Michigan and went to a Baha'i-inspired boarding school and got to travel to different parts of the world to perform. Okay. And then got to venture into seeing different parts of Ontario by living in different cities independently again. So I've had a lot of time away from my family, which is definitely interesting because it definitely provides a different perspective. Like, it's like you're going to family reunions and gatherings as like a person that they're getting to know again. Right. Which is very interesting. So I'm definitely still discovering who I am. But I'm someone who is obsessed with music, is obsessed with, I love poetry, and love candles. That's random, but I just love them so much. I'm going to throw it in there. And cheese. I love cheese.
Cheese, and we saw the macaroni and cheese. We tell you more cheese. She's making macaroni and cheese.
I was born in Milwaukee, and I literally, like,
Cheese curds. Come on now.
Yo, obsessed. Obsessed. Like there's photos of me as a kid eating blocks of cheese bigger than my face.
Right. What is it called? What's it called? What's
Poutine.
Yeah, poutine. Yes, indeed. I've always wanted to
Poutine
try
doesn't even have enough cheese for me. Like, why do you want poutine? Like,
no, I love cheese too. I hear you on that one. I feel you.
And I can't be eating too much cheese because people really can't be digesting that. So I don't know. That's not saying who I am, but I think I'm still figuring that one out. It's just so exciting knowing that every year you get to figure yourself out more. So
still learning. You're still young. There's so much life to live, and I know you'll continue to do that. And once again, I'm just letting you know that you are a super talented person. And just like I said, I love all music. I really do, and I enjoy music. If it's hot is what I always say. But I know listening to you from that first song, I was just like, wow, that's how it hit me. And usually I'm just like, okay, that was cool. But I was just like, and then somebody was just like, I know already. I was telling you, I was just like, yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm there. So yes, young lady.
Crazy.
but definitely you have something great, and I think the people are going to be ready to hear it, and you just continue to work and do your thing, and it's going to happen for you on a larger scale, just the way I am, just what I believe, my perspective. And so what are your short-term goals and your long-term goals?
My short-term goals, my long-term goals. My long-term goal is to be able to finance my life through my music.
Awesome.
My short-term goals are, I definitely need to learn how to budget, but I think my short-term goal, is short-term in your perspective, like the year or like the next 5?
Whatever. I mean, it might be next week, whatever it is to you. It's about what that's for you. I can't. I'm not going to ask that. Short term is like, what's your short term goal?
True.
It's not me.
True. I'm definitely short term. I just want to keep in better touch with the people I love. That's such a big thing for me right now. I don't even know if that answers your question, but I realize even seeing my family, I saw my family, because again, I've been living away from them for so long.
Right.
And I have friends from so many different cities and states because I've lived in eight different places. So just really keeping in touch with the people I love and making sure they're good. I think that is such an important short-term goal. Whether that even answers your question, I think that is something that I'm going to continue to do for the next few weeks, if you want to say. Is just checking in on those people and just making sure I have a solid foundation of people around me. Right. You need that. You need that, period.
No, that's love. See, we're diving into more of just who you are. It doesn't always have to be about music because you are music. So anything you're speaking about, it's going to come off. That's the way it's supposed to be. So when you speak about family and friendships and things like that, no, that's love. I want you to be honest and truthful because, as I always like to say, this is a conversation. It's less about me asking you questions. It's just a conversation, getting to know Jade better, and that's what it's about. And I think people should because they need to get to know your music better also, and that comes with knowing who you are a little bit more. And I'm cool with it. So we're getting close to the end here, and even though I'm really enjoying this, young lady, I really am. So why should someone take their time and energy and spend their money on Jade? Yeah, come on, close. Well, there you go. There it is. Talk that talk. Yeah.
I can't control your life or what you do, but if you can get even a little bit of a different perspective in your life, which I know for a fact I could bring, you should. And I think that's the only thing I could say, really, because you might not like my music, you might not like my personality, but you will get a different perspective on your thoughts and your life, because I got a lot to say.
Indeed. Indeed.
So I think that you should always take advantage of meeting someone new and seeing what you can gain from knowing them, whether I did music or not,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just someone who really loves listening and loves a good conversation. So if you can get that from someone, take it.
Well, then that's just what we just had right here. That's what I'm talking about. It's really been really great to get to know you better and, answering these questions and having these conversations. And, I hope I wasn't too crazy. I always try to tone it down a little bit because, I can be a little...
You're so comfortable.
No, I'm good now. No. Yeah, I'm loving what I'm doing now. I really am. Millie, what's up? Awesome. Well, young lady, if you don't mind, would you like to say anything? Would you like to leave us with something? Is there anything that you want to say? You can. The floor is yours. You can speak it, say it, talk it, yell it.
Do I want to say anything? Love this podcast.
Thank you.
Is it a podcast? Is that what they...
See, it's a podcast, but I'm a show, man. I'm bigger than I'm a big guy who thinks big. I am big. I love big. I'm all of
but
that.
But is a podcast just
That's what they say. Okay. I started moving it to a show. This is a show to me, so it's all different. It's all love.
No, I think it's such an important thing that you create a space that people feel comfortable in, because I'm not trying to just, I'm a nobody right now, but it's like I'm still not trying to get involved with somebody.
No, let me cut you off. No. Take that out of your vocabulary.
The nobody thing.
No.
I don't know.
No. It's not even a question about that. You are definitely somebody, and you're more than that. Your music speaks volumes. You speak volumes in who you are and how you carry yourself. So don't ever say that. That's just with me. I just know better, and you should know better. All the positivity and stuff that we've had this conversation that you said, you should never ever want to say that again. So go ahead and eliminate that. Yeah, eliminate that. Eliminate it.
I feel like I don't see it as a negative thing. No.
I know what you mean. And how people look at you, and that you might not be Whitney Houston or whatever like that. We don't even care about that. Your talent is already speaking that. So you are somebody, and you will move to be a greater. You're not lesser than. Man, you're not even equal to. You're greater than, and that's how I look at my life. I'm being real calm, but people know me.
No, never dim nobody's shine. You don't know.
Yeah. No, so you are somebody. So I'm just saying. I'm sorry for cutting you off with that, but you were good. So don't even play with yourself like that. You're beyond that. So anyway, yes. Please give, if you want to say anything, and just give all the people your social media so they can get in touch with you. Yeah, Millie is a wild girl. It's all love.
My social media is actually, I'm sure you'll put it somewhere, but it's actually Jade with 3 E's. I don't know. People have been calling me Jadeee, but really just please say Jade. Please say Jade.
It's just Jade. No,
Yeah, there was a point where I was like, you can call me that, but now I'm like, nah, let's just not have a thing.
Yeah, say it how you're supposed to. Yeah.
That's what I go by right now. What is with you in this pickle?
But you're good. But young lady, I just want you to know, once again, this has been a great conversation. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to spend some time with me. And it's all love. It's all love. I really, really appreciate you. So thank you.
Of course.
Thank you again. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to enjoy this young lady. You got to check her out. But we're going to have her music playing and all those kind of things. So it's all beautiful. So
love that.
Yes, indeed. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, you know who it is. It's the big guy with the big show, the Lord Nelson, that is. Yeah, for the show, Live and Loud with the Lord on the CMS Network with 5 Royals Entertainment. And this special young lady, one more time, this special young lady, talented artist. She is so dope, man. Jay!
How did you do that?
I don't know how that happened. You saw the hearts come up? I don't know. Maybe
Are you serious?
I didn't do that. So if you didn't do that, listen, you did that.
My hands weren't even near
Listen, all I did was, I don't know. Did I hit my mic? I don't know. Listen, it's the Baha'i See, bye. See, it's good things are coming right now. It's like, take it as a sign. Something I don't know. See, there it is again. That's you.
Well, no, that's a heart. Anyways, I don't know how that thing happened.
But the other hearts popped up now. So, pow.
I'm dead.
So once again, thank you so much, young lady, and I really appreciate it.
Yes. Everyone go watch all of his podcasts, please, because the energy is immaculate and you need this energy in your life.
I appreciate you, young lady.
Yes.
All right, you guys be good.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
All right, you too.
Surprise, saw the soul inside my eyes. Hopefully you won't tell lies. Maybe you can just say a while. Promise it'll be worth the while. Loving you is so unstable. Maybe you can just stay the night. Just promise it'll be worth it. Loving you is so like we be changing, but you know this shit ain't ending. Everybody else pretending. Loving you is luxurious. You keep me guessing, keep it curious. Loving you cause it's mysterious. I know that we belong like that. Never thought we'd get along like that. You was real, you was wrong. Yesterday you came to mind. Took a reminiscing ride. Taking me to different heights. Yeah, you got me feeling high. Maybe you can just stay a while. Promise it'll be worth the while. Loving you is so insane. It's so. Maybe you can just stay the night. Just promise it'll be worth it. Loving you is so.
Nelson, that is.